Don't spend more on marketing. Don't double your team. Don't create a new funnel. Just fix your show rate. I will show you the 8 steps we did to improve our show rate dramatically, and that has helped us to book more than 15,000 sales calls. And why you should care because of this. So let's say you're currently at this show rate, so 50% of people show up to your calls. You would get 10 customers. But if you could get this number to 85, that basically is 17 customers. That's basically almost doubling your company. And if you look at 300 booked sales calls per month, the numbers are just wild. So those are 21 more new customers. And if your show up rate is super bad, like 30%, getting it to 85% would basically triple your business. So pay close attention to this video, okay? So we're gonna talk about how to improve dramatically your show up rate. Who am I? My name is Nick. We have served more than 2,100 clients. We have made ourselves close to now in more 4 million in sales. I also have been featured on some magazines, which is pretty cool. And we have a team of 15 people, and we have the #1 business podcast in Latvia. And we're actually organizing really cool events with hundreds of people at our events and changing their lives, you know, like impacting stuff like that. So, but let's go to the video, which is about, right? The video is about show up rate. So let's talk about it. Problem why prospects do not show up. There's multiple things. And every missed sales call is wasted time on the calendar, which is really bad because your salespeople need to be selling, not drinking coffee or eating or Slack channeling or chatting with some colleagues. And there's multiple things you should fix. And here are 4 big of them, which we will go through. And the first one is the most easiest to fix. #1, they forgot about a call. No reminders, they just forgot about it. #2, they didn't know how to join. Also super simple, super silly. Basically, the main problem is no clear instructions. They're confused. They just don't show up. The third one, which is pretty much the big one, is they don't see enough value. So you book the call, or they book the call themselves, but they don't see enough value, and that's why they don't show up. What's in for them. #4, they feel intimidated or overwhelmed, right? At the sales call, or this call is going to be like stressful, painful, and then they just want to avoid it. So the first one, easiest to solve. The last one, a little bit harder to solve. We're going to talk about all of them. And here's a side tip. You don't want everyone to show up. You want more the qualified people to show up, right? You want to filter them through. Step #1, the qualified prospect only rule. The thing you should think about is calendar is like real estate. So you have real estate available per day, per people. And you want to be like mindful and strategic about what you place on that real estate, because you want that real estate to produce the biggest yield, the biggest return, the biggest impact for the business, right? Which is money, right? So if you have shitty people on the real estate, shitty outcome, no money or less money, okay? Makes sense, right? And on the other hand, if you've had great quality of people, that leads to higher close rates, more upfront cash collected, and also better morale for people because, you know, like every time they meet a closer is like, boom, a perfect client, deal, a perfect client. Keeps the morale high. I have seen many times my people, they come to us and they're like, oh, I just had 3 people who are looking for a job, Nix. What the fuck? You know, and it impacts their mindset. It's not a great thing to have, okay? So what makes a qualified prospect? #1, they have a clear problem that you can solve. They have the problem. They have the problem. #2, they are decision maker, or they're the main key person who can make the decision. #3, they meet your budget. They meet the financial requirements to work with you, you know? #4, they fit your profile. They kind of are the industry or the persona or the thing they want is the thing you can give them. So basically, they are your ideal customer. Step #2, you should automate your filtering process initially, which means people sign up, you know, they sign up, they use a sales application form. You should definitely use something like this. The biggest platforms, Calendly, OneHub, IDCal, and probably some other. But I use OneHub. It's really advanced. I like it. So I use OneHub.
Real quick, and then let's get back to the video. If you need help with any of these 3 things, building out your client acquisition system, systemizing your business with a CRM, tracking and dashboards, or you need and want consulting and advice on how to grow to 100K per month with your service-based business, we would love to help you out. If you would love to learn more, go to the description, Click the link, book a call, and our team would love to speak to you and help you with any of these 3 problems. And now let's get back to the video.
And step number 2 is to automate your filtering process. So the system can automatically, like delete someone who's not a good fit, reschedule them or send them to a different thing, which I'm going to talk about. First thing, you need to use like a Calendly or a calendar or a OneHub, something like this. It's just like standard thing. So you should use it. For sure. I like OneHub and I have used before Calendly and I switched to OneHub. That's just my personal preference. And also here you can do a lot of cool stuff, which I don't think functionality wise Calendly can do currently. The next step is to have filtering questions. So you need to decide what are these going to be for you. These can be industry, offer, problem, the size of the business, geographical things. You need to think about it for yourself. So here's kind of my questions we currently ask: name, email, phone, current revenue, describe your business, like just talk about it shortly. What's your main problems? What's your goal? And kind of you're gonna show up the call. We ask this thing. We used to ask here, do you have the money to invest? We saw that it has we kind of went away from that. I know many people recommend doing that, so you can test it. We kind of went away from it, and we are basically the main thing we're rating based for us is how you describe your company and what's your level of income. So we know that people with less than 2,000 euros they're making, it's very, very slim chance they're gonna be a fit and they're gonna buy. So we're those people, we're giving them, counseling them, or if we have new closers who want to learn, ramp up, we can send these unqualified people to them so that they have opportunities to learn. And also it's fine, because we're gonna cancel them anyway, so we give them to someone, right? Makes sense. Tools we use is Zapier, which is basically sending us the information when somebody books to software such as CRM or for us Pipedrive, and also Slack, and also the OneHub, which is basically where you book the calls, and you can set up redirects and reconfirmations and a cancellation process. There's inside of OneHub. But also the thing is, I would recommend you to not do it if you're not booking at least 50 meetings per week. So if you have your marketing dialed in, and maybe you have a setter or setters, if you have it dialed in and you're booking 50 calls per week plus, then you should be starting to cancel everybody. And if you're not doing it, maybe don't do it, because every conversation will still can lead to a sale, maybe a little bit longer, because they're not so qualified, they need to gather the money, or some other things, but it will give you so much information about your marketing, who's coming, what's happening, so you can get the feedback and improve your marketing, right? So it's crucial. You don't cancel everybody unless you have the volume to do so. Step number 3 is also manually this is sales ops, looking at the data and just checking for yourself what's happening. So here is an example of when someone schedules a meeting with us, they are sent to a Slack channel in our company, and we can see when, who, etc. the offer, main challenges, experience, will they show up, yes, no, etc. And we can actually, when we grade them with a Slack icon, so it's very, very simple how we do it, and these are the way to just see what's happening from the marketing. So if you're you're running the sales team, you can just scroll and see, okay, we're getting a lot of 3s, 4s, and these are the best ones. The scoring also, do whatever you like. You can do red, yellow, green being the best, yellow being medium, red being bad. So I think you can do whatever you like. We do from 1 to 4, but you can do whatever you like. And the unqualified people, don't just, lose them, because they eventually will become qualified and they can buy. So send them to a free resource, send them to a free group, send them to, just add them to your email list and keep doing the nurturing, the stuff. And also everyone who you meet is a chance to learn about them, learn about their problems, learn about who's coming to the calls, how they're seeing you as a company. That can give you good feedback, okay? Number 4, very important, is to build anticipation with strategic reminders. What do I mean? Most sales calls, when you book them, the reminders you receive, the information you receive after booking, it's super the same stuff, like the generic shit templates. So here's ideas for you to do it and make it cool. So number one, the timing, when to send it. 24 hours, 24/7, 48 hours, 24/7, 1 hour before the call. Personalization, use the name for sure. And also reference more the problem. Excited to help you with your problems, right? Clear instructions have clear instructions. Let me show you clear instructions. So here's clear instructions. So we add this image to also the page where they can actually confirm. So basically, when they schedule, there's a confirmation page. I will also show it to you. In that page, we have this like shown. Then the next thing, the email they receive, super simple, super to the point. And we ask them to do one thing, which is respond with yes. And most people do, right? The SMS we're sending in from OneHub, because OneHub, you can send SMS reminders from it. Also, super simple, right? Super simple. Next thing is build anticipation. Like we will cover benefits to create a plan to the goal. And also put in the stuff you're doing, right? You're one step away from solving the pain, solving the problem, right? Bonus, they should feel welcome to the call. That's like a cool thing you should do, right? Make them feel welcome. And here's my page to give you some examples. So this is a congratulations, watch the short video. I explain what we do, how we do, who we are. And then it's like confirm the call. We're showing specifically what they need to do, right? And send the yes, because this is what they see. They're like, okay, familiar. They go to your email and exactly what they see. So it's great, right? This is again. And then we have some, of course, testimonials to build more credibility, trust, etc. Step number 5, tighten your calendar's availability. So if you want to increase show up rates, make sure people cannot book gajillion days ahead. So recommendation, limit booking to 24 hours. This keeps your calendar more lean and prospects, can book ahead. And also this builds urgency. They feel like your time is more valuable. And I have tested multiple ways of doing this. This I think is the best. And for example, you have setters, right? People who are calling and they're like, Nix, the calendars are open. Yes, it's okay. So make sure your people do it when it's available. That will keep the prospects, more engaged because, the setter will also communicate more, because sometimes I used to do this. Setter was calling the lead, schedule a call 7 days ahead. They just book it and then the setter forgets about the lead because they don't care. It's like booked on a cal. But the show up rate was shit. So don't do it. Do it like this one. Okay. Number 6, the art of the thank you page. The thank you page isn't just a confirmation. It's also your first step in reframing the sale. So here's also an extra document about, I'm not going to cover it, but it's about all of the sales process. So I cover how we step by step do our sales. And here you can see a Figma of how it actually looks. So that's additional thing. But the idea is reconfirmation, showing them value, showing them who you are, and then making sure they understand the next step, which is in my approach right now to get our show up rate really, really high is to them reply to the email. So they say, yes, I remember, I know, it's okay, I will be there. Okay. And here's the link to the page, which I previously showed you. Number 7, you could be doing also double bookings for the least qualified salespeople, or for the least qualified prospects. Why? Most of the time, the less qualified the person is, the less likely they are to show up. Right? Makes sense, right? Especially for B2C, very thing. But it's risky. Let's say you have 2 closers and you do double booking. You have 4 bookings on the same time. It's like, what the fuck? And 4 people show. You're like, ah! So be careful with this, okay? But it's a great way to maximize the slot availability on their calendar. And it is also fine to say to the prospect, hey, we're having like too many calls at the same time. Unfortunately, we'll need to reschedule. We cannot meet at 1. It is a pain in the ass sometimes, but in some other cases, it's actually like, it puts you in a position of you are more demanded than you have supply for, which is a great thing. Which is not, don't get me wrong. It's a great thing. Right? How to do it, basically. How to do it. You basically have a calendar slot like this one, like today, and you click. So you have a calendar slot like this one. Let's say this is a meeting, right? You click here, you click edit event, and you click here free. That's basically what you do to do it. And then on your OneHub, people can still schedule a second call. So the second call can be here. That's basically what it is. And again, I would recommend you to do this for the not best leads so that you have better quality of prospects available so that better quality prospects can schedule the call, right? Because you don't want to have a situation where the cool prospect is coming and then he cannot book in like today or tomorrow because there's full of unqualified people and you're just saying yeah we need to meet you a little later. No, you want to have the best prospect, the most likeliness to buy like today, right now, in front of the closer. And number 8 is reframing it from just a sales call or just a discovery call to something more interesting, right? We use a roadmap session. You can use a growth strategy roadmap call, business breakthrough session, ice cold therapy session, doesn't matter. Coffee session, like, doesn't matter. Just create something new, something different, because that's gonna create a whole different flavor to it all, okay? And your move is to audit your current process and apply a couple of these lessons to your own approach, to your own business, so you can have more show-up rate. If this document is interesting to you, below this video, you can just get it by opting in, and I will send you this document plus the other document which you get inside of here. So, stay sharp, stay sexy, get the document, and I hope to see you in the next video.